Wow, just wow. Were you hesitant to take on something again in the horror genre? What made you say yes to Historia and playing this Chief
I'm
Denver?
not I'm not hesitant with horror. I'm just hesitant with crappy writing. I'm hesitant with inexperienced directors. I'm hesitant with cheap producers. That's what causes me to be hesitant. But so I have a higher bar when it comes to horror. And when this came in, I'm like, yeah, okay, okay, let's find my line. And I just found myself slowing down as I started to read through the script and got to my stuff. And it wasn't the one note Johnny that you get with cops a lot. Hey, kid, get out of here, drinking his cup of coffee and smoking his cigar. This guy's a rational human being. He's almost a nice guy. He doesn't disrespect the teenagers, treats them like adults. I, I really responded to that. I'm like, okay, not all cops are this my way or the highway. I've interacted with a couple of cops over the years who they and their partner made an active decision that they were going to police a little bit lighter. And it was an interesting thing to come across because you think of cops now, get down there, and it's a lot of really strong arm tactics. But this guy, I thought it refreshing that he's going to go, let's just try and figure this out. Let's everybody calm down, take a minute, because there's probably going to be an answer. The cool part about the show is that he doesn't always have the answers. And that's not good for the guy who's sort of the moral compass of the show.
Exactly, exactly. So if you could sum up this show, because it's 80s, like there's heavy metal, it's like, the satanic, like, kind of like scare. How would you sum up this show in like 4 to 6 words?
Creepy as hell, but cool.
Creepy as hell, but cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. You're
Because
considered
it
a
is creepy. Look, every time you talk about the possibility that the S word, that Satan might actually be real, it's enough to install terror into the hearts of most Americans. If you're a God-fearing person, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that there might be something is happening in your town that you can't explain, things catching on fire and strange things happening with animals. I mean, no wonder it caught because of how terrifying the concept is, especially in
exactly.
the 80s where you had Ronald Reagan and God bless America and you were right or wrong, don't do drugs, drugs are bad. And it was a very black and white world. And it's always easy to see pushback because you're supposed to say little prayers at night and everything's supposed to be perfect under that world. But whenever that happens, you're always going to have groups that go, nah, I'm good. So it's really what it is. I think it was a natural reaction to things happening in society where I think musicians are like, nah, I'm gonna do like death. I'm gonna call it death metal. It's not even heavy metal. It's death metal. That the
Right.
subject is just death. So, it's just rebellious behavior.
Right. You came up into fame in the 1980s.
It did.
Yes, you did. For certainly, you're a pop legend, pop culture legend. Would you ever change your mind about playing Ash Williams again? Should Sam Raimi make another Evil Dead film?
We'll play it by ear. We can't hide the movies anymore. The last one we made the most of any Evil Dead movie, so we'd be silly to stop now. So we've got two more in the pipeline and a possible animated series as well.
And you'd be part of the animated series?
The animated, yeah, because my voice has not aged as much as I have. And, my voice doesn't mind saying lines of dialogue rather than throwing myself down the stairs or whatever. That's an easier gig.
Absolutely, I get that. I understand that there's a project called Ernie and Emma, something that you have created with your wife, Ida.
Yeah, I just made a movie with my wife in my small little town of Oregon. Surprise, surprise, is no horror. I play Ernie Tyler. He's the regional sales manager for a pear company in Pear Valley, Oregon, and his wife dies. And turns out she leaves him quite a long list of stuff to do with her ashes. Not all of it happy. And so it's a coming of age for a guy who's in his mid 60s. So that's sort of what appeals to me these days. And it's why Hysteria appealed to me because it's not the same horror crap. It's bright, It keeps you moving. It keeps you guessing. It's really moody. I think they did a great job with all the production value and Matthew Kane and the writing staff. A lot of moving parts with a TV show, and it's really nice when the pieces come together. You have a lot of shows where some things work and some don't, and I'm hoping that Peacock is getting behind this. I feel like they are because they like it, and it's nice to have a show that your studio might actually like.
Right, right. And Julie Bowen, wow. I mean, what a powerful performance.
Well, when I recommended her to the studio, I mean, they fought me. I'm
Really?
kidding. I'm kidding, of course. My joke is that humor is very dark, a lot of it. So, Julie can pull from all the darkness of her humor background. And look, she's a thespian. They tell you to look scared, you look scared, even if you're Julie Bowen.
Exactly.
And if she wasn't such a tyrant, she'd be great to work with.
I love that. It's a pleasure to connect with you. Congratulations on this. I think audiences will be pleasantly surprised. And
We hope so. We hope so. We want to give them something they don't hate.
absolutely. All right, you be well. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.